Hello, everybody, and welcome to the half-hour happy hour with Allison and Alex.
You have stumbled onto our holiday special, the 12 Days of Drunksmas. We recorded 12 episodes in one booze-filled day and are releasing them once a day from now until the first of the year. To put some ease in this marathon recording, we recorded in a different location than usual, so we apologize for this not sounding as great in your ear holes as it normally does.
And we will be back with weekly episodes starting January 4th. Thank you, and enjoy the craziness.
On the 11th day of Drunksmas, the happy hour gave to me 11 grooms a brooming, 10 dogs a herring, 9 robots murdering, 8 maps a pooping, 7 sassy t-shirts, 6 science stories, 5 fucking eggs, 4 paper cuts, 3 maroon tailors, 2 Alison songs, and a 1-sentence story from Tom.
Now entering Nerdist.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drunksmas. Drunksmas! Of the half-hour happy hour with Allison and Alex. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Alison Haislip, and for maybe the next 30 minutes, we might talk about things we thought were interesting on the internet, but let's be honest, it's Drunksmas. We don't know where the fuck this is going.
Anything goes at Drunksmas.
That's normally what we do.
She just ate a turkey bagel.
I did.
What?
You
What?
Prepare.
What?
Prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself.
Turkey bagels.
We have nowhere.
Okay, I'm just going to be really honest with you. Normally, we release the half hour happy hour once a week. And
Correct.
This, because of the holidays, we're just recording 12 in a row.
You sound so fucked up
I'm
right
drinking whiskey. It's a thing that's happening.
A whiskey drink?
now. It's a vodka drink.
Don't touch me.
Alison Haislip is not here right now.
No.
But you know who is here? Mr. Tom Katzenberg, Super Volcano,
That's me.
Heisen.
That's close enough. That's me.
Krajewski. How are you, buddy?
Good, nice and
Hi, Tom.
this alcohol is really
This alcohol
nice. I
is
just
good of
discovered
you.
alcohol today.
I feel like
It's really
the
nice.
biggest mistake
This
I think we
alcohol
made.
made me drunk.
This
I
alcohol
was
made me
drunken
drunk.
by alcohol.
I was drunk by alcohol, that asshole. The thing that I realized was the biggest fail of this whole day was
What?
not bringing Advil.
Oh, what?
No.
You don't need Advil.
Fuck you motherfuckers.
For what, a
Do you
headache?
have Advil?
Wait, everything.
Can I have some Advil? That would be
No.
I've
fantastic.
never had it.
By the way, I'm still drinking alcohol with my Advil. I'm just taking Advil.
No. Will you shut the fuck up? This is why someone sent us Pedialyte.
Oh, yes, we have the Pedialyte. Here, Alex.
Pedialyte has Advil
is
in
like
it?
liquid
We have it.
Advil.
Wait, Alex, this is open. I opened it, but I didn't drink it.
You mofos won't trust
Just
me.
chug it. Chug it.
Seriously, take a shot of that.
I tell you what, this is what I'll do. Give me the Pedialyte.
Please drink the
Now,
Pedialyte.
somebody quickly change my diaper.
No. Drink
Alex
the Pedialyte.
has,
Listen,
said-
well, you're...
It says rectal placements.
No, it doesn't.
Oh
Shut
no,
up.
replaces.
Actually, I have Excedrin.
I'll take it. Whatever.
Oh,
Is it-
God. I really wish
Is
you had,
it Excedrin PM?
I got,
Am I gonna
I
go
got
sleep?
Motrin. Wait, what is it for
What do I got?
specifically for
That-
cramps?
Wow. Is it?
My
my
oh,
wife is
I have a
bringing
Tylenol
Alex a
if you
bunch,
want Tylenol.
This one?
bunch
Midol?
of drugs.
Yeah,
Make sure
Midol.
that's not
Can
Vicodin.
you give Alex Midol for his pussy
First
cramps?
off,
Oh,
I love that you
nice,
said make
Allison.
sure that's not Vicodin. It's got an E on it. Is that
That's
Molly?
That's
Excedrin.
ecstasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
ecstasy.
Okay, listen. Alex, while you're taking illegal drugs, I'm going to introduce our guest.
Yes.
I was gonna say
Oh, that
earlier.
Pedialyte is so horrible.
I'm so excited for this.
It basically the
no
gauntlet
pressure.
is thrown.
No, all the pressure's thrown.
Bring it.
All the pressure.
Yeah.
We have the one and only Kyle Hill
Yes.
on our podcast right now.
Mr. Science,
If for
Captain
some
Science?
reason you have no idea who Kyle Hill is, first off, look him fucking up. But second,
Jesus.
we like to say on this podcast that we're scientists.
Oh, we'll get
But
to
I
that.
feel like Kyle is a scientist.
Oh, he's a real one?
Concerned. He's a real one.
No,
What?
not necessarily real, like he has a PhD, but he has a bit more
It's
like
halfway
stature
between. Yeah.
than we do, talking about the shit we talk about on this podcast.
You know, like for a job.
yes,
Whoa.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yes,
You're
he
like,
does science for a
what's your
job.
official title at Nerdist?
I'm the science editor there.
Science editor.
Yeah.
He's a fucking science editor.
Oh,
Motherfuckers.
all the things that are out of place, I will edit
Science.
them.
You will place them.
I like it.
You're gonna
Wow.
place
Too many words. Get out of here.
them.
Get out of here, these and
But
those.
this is the thing. Like you and I,
Yes.
meaning Alex and I, and sometimes Tom.
Tom sprinkles
Thank
in
you,
some
Al.
science
We
every once in a while.
We talk about shit, and then people email us, and they're like, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Kyle
That's my
knows what the fuck he's talking about. So we brought him on at the end of this marathon that we're doing of Drunksmas.
I thought it would be a lot more fun to come on at
I
the
did too.
end.
Oh yeah.
I was
Oh
like-
yeah, and it is.
When Alex said
It's more fun.
he could come on, I was like, you can honestly come on whenever works for you. Like, we're not demanding. Like, we just want you on the show. And he's like, well, it's kind of funnier if I'm on during the end. And I was like, yes.
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 That's exactly what should happen. So Alex is here to science the fuck out of
She
us.
does
Yeah,
name Kyle.
you too, but also me. Yeah?
You're going to
He-
science the fuck out of everyone.
Yeah, you kept calling him Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, a couple
Hey.
times.
Hey, man, it's cool.
Kyle.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Freudian slip.
Kyle's here
She-
to science the fuck. Guys, I've been drinking whiskey.
Is that why you're supporting yourself with your microphone?
She is-
Supporting your
she's
body
really-
weight.
She's sleeping on the microphone.
Put a counterweight on that thing. You can
Stop
sleep upright.
judging.
That's science. She's
Kyle-
a counterweight.
Counterweight.
Whoa.
He said science.
Kyle, you're
It's
here
science.
because I fucking invited you, and I wanted you to be smart on your show.
Hey, I'm trying.
So be fucking smart.
Stop pointing.
And being smart is not being a smart ass. So if I fall asleep on my microphone, you let me fucking be.
Kyle.
Right? No, whatever.
I'll be just hit the back of the microphone to wake you up. Let's go. Let's just wake you up and be like, what? Science? Science?
Oh, hey, well,
Okay,
Adams.
anyway,
Quantum computers.
Kyle, no, I'm
Cubits.
super.
So,
If I call you Alex multiple times throughout the show, I don't know why
I'm gonna
doing
let it
It's probably because
slide.
I'm drunk. It's fine. But you're Kyle, and I love you, and I'm glad you're here.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Yay!
I'm gonna let it slide because you're fine.
I might let it slide.
I'm gonna let it slide because you're fine.
Yeah.
What? How's that turkey bagel, by the way?
I love the turkey bagel. It's
Did you
like a
switch to taco?
It's a turkey bagel on. No, it's a turkey. It's turkey.
I can see why you guys had me in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is the best
we-
time to talk about
yeah.
science. First off, I feel like we should roll back and talk about your scientific theory, the theory of relativity. That's just a theory.
Oh, did you get into relativity? Dope.
I'm
Oh,
still talking about.
have you
this.
heard of it?
I know she's still
it's
trying
something
to.
with clocks and
Yeah.
light
No.
bulbs and shit, right?
I'm eating turkey on an onion bagel. That's what I'm
That's
eating.
pretty scientific.
So first off, I'm glad that we now wrapped that up while we were talking about science, and she's like, "I'm just going to put a nice little bow on this. I'm actually eating turkey."
You know, the
on
thing
an
about
onion
relativity is not enough olives.
Not
And,
enough olives.
There you go.
Okay,
The bagels just need to be toasted more.
back me
Relativity.
up on this.
Okay.
Or don't.
Yeah.
Just be
we go.
correct on this.
Just be correct on this.
Yeah, sure, I'll try.
It's the theory of relativity, which
Yeah.
technically means it's always just a theory because there's nothing that actually says this is right,
that's-
even though every time we test it, it comes out the same way.
Well, that's why we call it a theory.
Right.
People say the same thing about like evolution. Yes, it's only a theory, but
It's technically a theory because no one was
inside-
actually there to observe it.
Actually, we can observe evolution happening
Oh,
right
really?
now.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
shit
yeah.
like there are these speckled moths. I think were in England or something. They were almost all white on their wings. But after the Industrial Revolution, because it was more advantageous to be darker because there's so much pollution around,
Oh, interesting.
it'd be harder to see to birds. So the ones that became darker proliferated in the population, and these became darker colored moths. And we see that happening in our own lifetimes. We can see it with bacteria and experiments and stuff as well. But kind of like
A lot of good science happening.
a lot of good
guys.
science happening here.
I feel very high end.
Right. That's why I asked Kyle to be on the show.
A theory, like if you read it in a scientific paper or something like that, is a generally accepted set of rules and laws that are supported by a lot of evidence. It's not an educated guess like you would say colloquially to somebody. It's, the theory of relativity is only a theory because it's supported by just about everything. A theory is actually, it's still standing after 100 years of people trying to prove it wrong, because you can make your career on proving someone else wrong. So
Really?
Interesting.
Oh, absolutely. If someone proved Einstein wrong back in 1912,
would be-
he'd be the
we'd
guy
know
who
their
took
name.
down Einstein, and,
Yeah.
and he would progress.
That's a good point.
So, I mean,
Also, fuck that dude.
a theory is
Yeah,
pretty
why
much
is that guy so mad
a theory
at
is pretty
Einstein?
much as high as you get. I mean,
Yeah.
theory's good.
Theory's good.
But, I mean, I think
But
it's
it is still a theory, right?
It's a theory, but it has so much weight of evidence behind it that I think the quote is, it's like from Stephen Jay Gould or something like that. It would be perverse to expect it to be overturned anytime soon.
Right.
It would take a mountain of evidence.
Yeah.
Similarly with like evolution, you couldn't just take one thing. It's very,
You couldn't be like,
very
I found this rock, and it looks like a person's face.
It must
Evolution
be.
be damned.
Well, I think the classic example is if you found a skeleton of a rabbit in the Precambrian, like back when those scorpion looking things were swimming around the
I
oceans.
don't know what you mean by Precambrian.
So 500 million years ago, if you
Okay.
found a rabbit skeleton,
Is that
Yeah.
pre-dinosaurs?
pre-dinosaurs, it'd be
Okay.
like, oh shit.
That fucks up everything.
But sometimes that happens, like when rocks get smashed together in the continental plates, and one looks like it's higher than another rock, so make it look younger. But we account for that kind of stuff because we think it through.
Okay, so do you think, and this is not me trying to be a dick about anything,
It's-
this is a legitimate question.
She's naturally addicted.
But when you say we account for this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
are there things that sort of pop up and you're like, we're just gonna kind of ignore that for now because it just doesn't fit in with everything else that we've discovered?
Sure. I mean, if there was
Ooh, new package?
We did. Wait, Kyle, answer your question,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna get to the new package.
if there was something that was legitimately, if you could legitimately take down a theory like relativity or evolution, you wouldn't be able to ignore it because somebody would
Right.
bring it somewhere and then make their career off of it.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not like people a lot of right wing people like to say that climate change is a big conspiracy by all scientists to
fuck
say
that
that.
shit.
But if there was one thing out of place that was major, I mean, you'd be the most famous scientists of our time. If
I
you're
see
like,
what
oh
you're
yeah, climate change isn't happening. Here's all the evidence.
Right.
Yeah,
But
or
that
here's
Wait,
A
that doesn't
evidence.
happen.
I do have a question. I mean, this is not me trying to get into a huge debate.
No, just keep going.
Ooh,
Hit me with it.
Chinese
Because I do. Is it Chinese food? Do we get delivered
It's
Chinese food?
a dumpling delight and a big plate.
I fucking love
From-
dumplings. Who delivered
Is that
it?
Andre?
What
What's
is
the
it
name?
called?
Andre?
There is a name on there, but I don't know if it's
Andre's
the
who made the video.
It does say Andre.
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Andre.
I thought you were saying entree.
Oh my God.
yeah,
It's
of
an
course.
entree?
Yeah.
Everybody, this is an entree.
Please open that shit up. Thank you, Andre. I
First
love
off-
dumplings. That's totally what I wanted in my life right now. Back to climate change.
Back to climate change.
I'm also working on my
I heard
segues.
this thing. Yeah.
Oh, dumplings.
Oh, I love dumplings.
Thanks,
I
Andre.
heard this thing, and
Oh,
tell me if
God.
I'm wrong, but it's like I'm gonna eat a dumpling. But I heard,
Andre.
that the sun actually does kind of heat up at various times.
Yeah, the sun is on.
That's not an excuse for climate change.
No,
but
no, no.
It does actually heat up where summers are going to be hotter than others.
Well, the sun
Oh.
has a sun cycle of sunspots where it has these bursts of activity,
Yeah.
and they last every 11 years. There's this cycle, but people have brought that up before, and when you line that data up against the data of how climate has changed over the last 1,000 years, it doesn't account for it.
okay.
So
Pollution
it's
still
it's a factor, but it doesn't account for what we're seeing. And what does
Interesting.
is how much carbon dioxide we put in the atmosphere. Like the equivalent per day of how much CO2 we put into the sky
Yeah.
is 8 Gulf oil spills in weight
What?
of
Really?
carbon dioxide.
Every day.
Every day.
every day.
Yeah.
So,
And if you think about it, yeah, if you put that much every day for 100 years,
yeah.
would it mess with the other air in the sky? Yeah, it would. I think so. And that's what we're seeing. That's why we have the climate talks in Paris, and why
Wow.
storms are getting worse. And
El
Yeah.
Nino.
there's no
Fucking
there's no
Dude,
water
no
here
joke.
in California.
El Nido. I've been told.
Nido.
Nido? El Nido.
Oh, it's so cool.
El Nido, I've been told in California, is kind of being dubbed Godzilla because it's going to be so powerful here that structures aren't capable of handling it.
So
Yeah,
what's it going to do to us?
Buildings will be wiped out because of the amount of rain we're going to get.
Yeah.
How so? Explain. I want to know what to do to my house.
I'm not.
Prepare for this.
It's hard for me to speak to the specifics, but
No, give me
in,
specifics.
why Haiti was so destroyed by an earthquake
Yeah.
is because when you're not used to some kind of force like that,
Right.
you don't have to build buildings that way,
Yeah.
and so they crumble because they're not used to a sideways moving force,
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
So if especially in California, low-lying areas, if you're not used to torrential flooding, yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
Also, they have a lot of the problem is water saturation of the current ground
Mhm.
because there's not that much water because all the water is gone. The ground isn't even saturated with water, so when water hits it, a lot of water hits it, it doesn't just moisture into the thing.
Yeah,
it's like it's hard to get in because it's so dry. There's no moisture in it, so it sloughs a lot of the dirt off into this mud flows.
Dirt and rocks have a thing called porosity, which is basically a measure of how much liquid can go into a certain amount of it per time. And if if an amount of rain exceeds that rate, all the rest of the water will go. Like if you can get in a gallon of water into, your front lawn in an hour, if you dump 3 gallons an hour worth of rain on it, 2 gallons are going into the street. And we're seeing that in Oregon right now. And bottom line, more moisture in the atmosphere, different and changing weather patterns means stronger, more often storms.
Jesus,
This is the topic that depresses me the most.
It's like end times. You're talking about end times.
I don't think we're doing enough quickly, and I don't know, man. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. It's when the Pentagon identifies it as like the main national security threat as well, because most of humanity lives on coasts.
Yeah.
And those are the people who are going to be uniquely affected by climate change.
Well, we are currently living on a coast, everybody.
Yeah.
You are. I'm in the valley.
I want to hear more half-hour happy hour. Stop fucking up our environment.
Yeah.
I calculated
my garage is going to be underwater.
Yeah.
I calculated once that at the rate of like sea level rise within our lifetimes, the place where they filmed Gullah Gullah Island is going to be underwater.
What is Gullah
I don't
Gullah
even know
Island?
what that is.
I know Gullah Gullah Island.
You've never watched Gullah Gullah Island? That kid show?
It was like a
never mind.
Sing it.
Whatever.
Sing it
Wait,
for
what
us.
kid show?
Hollywog. You don't remember that shit? Oh, that sounds stupid.
No, you don't sound stupid.
I'm younger.
I'm younger.
Well, I don't wanna... Usually, after I answer that question, someone's like, "Oh, fuck you."
Amazing.
Did you know the DuckTales theme song when you sang?
I didn't. I watched
God!
He is younger.
Watched it, didn't know it.
Kyle, you're a child.
Might have been on Boomerang.
I spit on myself.
Boomerang.
Remember that?
Oh yeah.
That's still.
Oh my gosh.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Kyle, why are you smarter than us and younger than us?
To jump past that question a little bit, I went straight from school to communicating about science, and this my niche that I love and I kind of like carved out for myself or tried to was trying to explain scientific concepts through like the lens of pop culture, using fun things like Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever you like to explain how certain things work. Maybe
Goonies, explain something.
Goonies?
Yeah, explain something.
Use Goonies.
That's what I like.
Science.
Should we talk about like fetal deformations?
Sure.
Ooh. I just thought I don't know. I'm just that's
Baby.
Can you use Goonies? He got dropped on his head. That's
Where did you go to school?
I went to I did my undergrad and my graduate work in Wisconsin back at Marquette University.
Marquette.
Yeah.
Cheesehead.
Jesuits are good people.
Wait, we did talk about this because we drank a lot of beer together.
Did we? Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that does sound like Allison.
Oh wait, yeah, that was that when I was dressed up as Thor at the party with the hammer and a suit?
No, it's when we played Magic at your house.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you guys played Magic?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if you're aware.
Oh, you took all my cards. Remember?
I took all of your cards.
all my cards.
I took all of Alex Albrecht's cards. I brought them over to Kyle Hill's house.
Yeah. Those were
And
my
we had
cards.
a
That
night-
bag of cards.
We had a night of playing Magic together. I got my ass kicked.
We won one.
No good.
We won one.
Because I was teamed up with Kyle.
Yeah, well,
When I
makes
was
sense.
not teamed up with Kyle, I got my ass kicked. But that was also the night that I was like, oh, you're from Milwaukee and we drink beer. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I remember this now.
Yeah.
How are those dumplings? Because Andre,
I'm eating
I
an
ate-
egg roll right now.
I ate an egg roll and it was divine.
Yeah.
It
The
literally was
dumplings
the
are great.
perfect thing for me right
The
now.
dumplings are right there. Eat them.
Are they shumai, hagao, or paigao?
Yeah, what's
I don't
in
know
these
if I should eat this
dumplings?
off me. I don't know. Delicious.
Because our dumplings, they look like isn't that like shumai is one?
Well, pork, chicken.
Yeah, and
something else.
hagao or something is one.
Oh, yeah, it tastes like hot
Can you
dog.
tell us?
I can identify the
Oh,
dumplings.
Claire, help us.
You
Claire.
can identify dumplings by sight.
Those are shumai.
Shumai.
Yeah, shumai dumplings.
So weird.
I
So
love.
it's about the type of how they're wrapped.
Yeah, like because they're like the
Yeah,
they look like little mushroom turnovers.
Shumai
so good.
pork or chicken.
They're so
Thank you,
guy.
Andre.
They're so guy. I don't know why I just did it. All right, well we have an email, a listener email
Go, listener
that
email.
actually has some science in it.
Hey,
It's called
Kyle,
Balls
correct
for
us.
Water.
Balls for
Balls
water?
for water.
All right,
wait,
cool.
let me guess. Putting a bunch of black balls on the surface of water to
Oh.
That's
So it doesn't
it.
evaporate.
This is
I
it.
actually know this.
Balls for water
Okay, do it.
and Drunksmas games.
Oh, I like that too.
Hi, Allison, Alex, and Tom.
What's up?
First off, just
Who
want to
is
say how
this?
much I enjoy your podcast. This is Christopher from
Hi,
the UK.
Christopher.
Really looking forward to Drunksmas. Well, you're in it now, my friend.
You're right here.
Buckle up. On your last episode a while back, you mentioned a card game that was received in a box. Oh, Exploding Kittens.
Oh, yeah.
I like various forms of Exploding Kittens.
I know.
Matthew Inman at the Oatmeal.
Yeah.
He
it's
just
a great
did-
freaking game.
He did the drawings, but it's actually my friend Elon who created the game.
Yeah.
The Musk?
The Musk.
Elon the Musk.
No, not
Elon.
I don't think Elon Musk
The
is
Musk.
spending his
I don't know,
time
maybe you were pronouncing it
inventing
weird.
No,
card
it's
games.
ELAN.
Elon.
Mike,
Elon.
the Elon.
Elon. And my new scent. Musk.
Actually, that somebody has to have done the
Elon Musk.
I need to trademark it now.
Yeah,
Like, it
somebody's
sells
gotta
itself.
do it.
Listen,
It's Musk.
Kyle, this episode is airing on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we got
So
time.
don't even...
You have
So
time.
you don't have
no,
time.
I'm saying you have time. Go for it.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll be
Is the patent office open?
It is. I'm a patent clerk. Anyway, so he said cards game. He said I think it got me thinking. Wouldn't it be cool if you guys played Cards Against Humanity over Drunksmas?
Ooh, that would be
Well,
good.
that would
And I
be
did
awesome.
I did think of it. I
would've
thought about
brought
it,
them.
and I was thinking about asking you to partner. But then I was like, we have guests coming on.
Yeah,
It's
that's
gonna
true.
take so much time. You know what I mean? That's a full
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
of Drunksmas, and it's just go by like that, saying like
True.
midgets in a box shitting or something.
True.
That's a card.
It is?
man.
Yeah.
Midgets in a box?
in a box shitting?
Jerk
No.
off into a pool of children's tears?
That's it. That's one. That's definitely one. If not, let's
Right,
pencil
that's
that
the
in.
one.
Guys, let's pencil that in. I'm sending that to Guinness.
Penciling.
If you haven't already played the game Strong and recommend it, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh, we played
read
it.
an interesting article about how water is being preserved in California with black balls.
Called it.
If nothing else, the
It's
image
not
in the
just
article
black,
is...
though, isn't it?
They have to be
Oh.
black,
Yeah.
but we will explain why
Okay,
in a
go
second.
So the whole... Go, why?
Go, why?
Well, go, why?
Why?
First off, the first why is because they were putting there because there was like a gas that was being made or like an algae that was making these like noxious chemicals, and so they were doing it so that birds weren't or ducks weren't getting poisoned
Fuck
because
off,
of the
ducks.
stagnant water.
Yep.
But the other side of it was it doesn't evaporate as fast because there's no surface area being hit by the sun to be heated up.
And the black balls are
Yes.
absorbing the heat, right?
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably a secondary thing. But yeah, I mean, with less surface area to reflect off of and go through, yeah, you're not heating it up as much.
So-
You're totally right.
So I
But
feel
it's-
like I've talked about this on the show before, but a friend of mine from high school, who I've literally known since I was like 6, because we grew up down the street from each other, he's in
Black ballian and
No.
made the black balls for the...
he's a landscape architecture.
Yeah.
He's a landscape architect.
He's a landscape architecture.
He's a landscape
You can see him.
architect.
He's
a topiary.
really good.
Yeah.
He needs a haircut.
Shut up. I'm just listening.
He's a landscape architect.
He's a landscape architect, and like his job, he works at a company that basically turns like landfills into golf courses. Like it's like,
Yeah.
how do you take
That's
this
cool.
area of land
And turn it into something
that
for yuppies.
no one
Right, yeah.
is that it doesn't seem great, and how do you maximize on it?
Well, it doesn't seem
So
great
he's the
because
one,
it's
he's
got all
come
that
out-
shit on it.
But he's come out to California a couple times for work and various things like that. And every time he's been out here, he's like, "You guys are fucked because of the drought." He's like, "You're literally fucked. You have no water."
Not figuratively fucked. Literally
fucked because we have no water. And he's the one who told me 6 months ago. He's like, "Yeah, they started putting like those plastic balls from Chuck E. Cheese in your water reserves
Yeah.
to help." Like that's how
From
desperate
Chuck E.
you guys
Cheese.
are.
Well,
is
first
to
off,
help
we're
make
that
water
desperate
on Chuck E.
evaporate.
Cheese.
If we get them from
Probably.
Chuck E. Cheese,
Chuck
then
E.
we're
Cheese.
really desperate.
Chuck E.
No,
Cheese is a
seriously.
It
scientist,
looks so.
by the way.
It looks so fast.
By the way, did we talk about this? Did we
Wanna
talk
jump
about my
in?
mind blow
Oh, what?
thing about Chuck E. Cheese?
No, what?
Chuck E. Cheese was created by the guy who
Right.
created Atari,
Yeah.
and then it was not a
Wait,
restaurant. It was
Nolan-
actually animatronic. It was a
Wait,
it was a robot
Nolan
play.
Bushnell?
Yeah, it was a
Yep.
robot play.
Yeah.
He literally was
What?
like, I make robots like
Yeah.
animatronics, so I'm gonna make a company that needs to buy my robots. And
And
so
that
it
was
literally
Chuck E.
was like
Cheese?
Chuck E. fucking Cheese.
What's
Yep.
his middle initial stand for, though?
Chuck E. Cheese. The E stands for electromagnetic pulse.
Or everything.
or
Chucky.
and by the way,
Chuck E.
Everybody.
Chuck everybody cheese. Amazing.
That's
That's
so
his
much better
catchphrase.
than electromagnetic pulse.
Everybody
Fuck
cheese.
off, Alex. Fuck off, Alex. I
can't talk.
Chucky.
I want more
Everybody
dumplings.
cheese.
Tom, pass me the dumplings.
There you go. There's.
Do I or
I
I
don't
She dumping.
know.
There you go.
She dumping.
Oh,
She
yeah.
dumping.
She
big time.
dumping on them dumplings.
No,
She
I'm
dumped
not. I'm just eating.
She be got. By the way, hysterical. You were there
What?
when we were playing Cards Against Humanity, and we
yeah.
the thing was what was it? Your mom's so ugly. She. And somebody came up with a card that said, or it said she be, and the card was just goblins. So literally, she read it.
She be
It was
goblins.
like, your mom is so fat, she be goblins. And I was like,
Perfect.
that was
That's
fucking.
amazing.
And so now everybody that I see that I'm like, ugh, she be goblins.
It kind of makes sense, right?
It makes sense with so many labels. Like, she's a goblin, but also she's
she be
eating a lot.
eating a lot.
Yeah, so she's like goblins.
She might kind of just encompass what goblins are all about.
Exactly.
She
She's
be goblins.
she's at the essence of
He,
goblin.
she, me, goblins.
Yeah, he, she, me, goblins. Anyway,
we goblins.
we goblins. So I am I'm interested to see how the balls work.
It's
I'm always
it's a
interested
Band-Aid
to see
measure.
how the balls
The
work.
crazy thing is, so we redid our whole front.
It's just I wish humans didn't have them. Honestly.
Really?
I'm surprised. Like, what?
Balls?
Oh yeah.
What?
Most mammals do not have exterior testicles because they're internal organs that need to regulate their temperature on the outside. And then there's this weird, people say.
Also, we get kicked in them and it hurts.
Yeah, and people say they're intelligent design,
Muscles.
right? Intelligent design, my ass. You cut open some balls. There's this nerve that
Ooh,
must
really?
go up and around your genitalia inside of you, 3 times as long as it would need to be to get where it needs to go, just because our balls have to descend.
What the fuck?
What?
Hey man, an engineer would design a little bit better than that.
So wait,
Literally, you could either go from here to here, but they go oh, I'm
They take the long
gesturing
way around.
short.
They
and
take the long way around.
Yeah, because evolutionarily,
Take the
it's
long
easy to
way
make
around.
small increments around something than to make a completely new.
okay, wait. Do you guys watch Doctor Who?
I have not.
My wife
Wait,
does.
Kyle, I know you don't fucking watch Doctor
Yeah,
Who.
because
I
it's
made
bad.
you watch your first ever fucking
Ooh,
Doctor Who.
whoa,
episode.
Shots fired.
Whoa.
Challenge.
Honey.
Wait, but which episode
Nerd
did
Grade
you?
Challenge.
Which episode did you show me?
I made
sorry.
her watch Blink.
Oh.
Hey, the best Doctor Who
To be
episode
fair,
ever.
that one was pretty good.
Yeah,
if that's
right on that
if you don't like that one, if you can't get on board on that one,
Yeah.
don't do it.
But
it's
my
just not
point
for you,
is-
which I get.
is that it's been a big thing in this season, at the end of this current season, about taking the long way around to figure out what you need.
You got that from me talking about balls?
You said
She
take
did.
the long way around.
She totally did.
All right. Just okay, sure. River. Hey, I'm the doc.
River.
He's
Oh my god, that
he's
is
from New
so
York, right?
like 2 seasons
He's
ago.
from New York, right?
From
hey,
New York.
River.
He's
hey.
from Scotland.
How about the River song and
Kyle,
and
you're
all,
fired off of our podcast.
all the timey wobbly whibby.
Oh, the shambly wambly.
Hey,
You sound just like Doctor Who.
is that the Daleko?
Oh my god.
Hey.
Daleko.
You're fired!
Oh,
Hey.
Speaking of people not liking
Been
nerd
watching
stuff,
a lot of Rick and Morty.
my
You introduced me to my first Rick and Morty episode.
It's
So
the
we're-
best.
Yeah,
I have
agree.
not seen any Rick
Also,
and Morty.
I could
I
not
agree with
recommend
that.
it highly enough. It's so good.
Interesting.
It
Is that the
so
Dan
good.
Harmon show?
Yeah,
It is.
it's
I
amazing.
haven't seen it.
Okay, what were you going to say,
Anyway.
Alex?
Well, I was just going to say that, The Force Awakens coming out.
Oh god,
By the way, is out, has been out.
been
People
out.
are fucking blowing their minds.
it's
For
going
a
to be
while.
literally it was whatever. Hey, time's weird.
It's all that time wobbly bobbly you were
It
making.
was probably the biggest movie ever
Yeah.
in human history.
Yeah.
What if it wasn't?
I will have seen it by the time this podcast.
I would have seen it twice by the time this podcast.
I
am
would have
seeing it.
named that tune with one
my
note.
I hate you. You're going in for the premiere.
That's crazy.
Fuck you.
Well, I'm working it.
Oh.
Yeah, but work it. I'd serve fucking
Yeah.
cocktails there if I could go see it. Shit. So Heather had not seen
Your wife.
My wife had
My
not
wife.
seen
Sorry.
Star Wars
No.
since
Shut up.
they were re-released in
Uh-uh.
96 or 97.
Why
Okay,
are you
that's
married
fine.
to this woman?
Because I love her and she's amazing.
97. That's fine.
But
That's not
she,
today.
She did not enjoy them. But if you think about the mindset that she was in, like she was traveling, she lived in Germany, like it just was a weird time to see fucking Star Wars. So,
Nope,
because
I
of the fact that Star Wars was coming
I
out,
also don't get that excuse.
I went.
She was in
got-
Germany, and you
can't.
do not watch
She was
Star Wars
like,
in Germany.
she was like
Because
Vader.
that's the only country where like it was not a spoiler alert.
Hey, don't. Hey,
know that
remember that,
Darth Vader
Grand
was his
Empire, like, and all
No,
the
but
Darth Vader-
stormtroopers. Don't
I don't
worry
like all
about
this
those
Nazi stuff.
stormtroopers.
Darth
Ooh.
Vader in German means dark father. So when it was like Luke, I am your father, it
That's
wasn't
German?
that was
I didn't
yeah.
know
That wasn't a spoil. Like people
Yeah.
in Germany knew that because his name was literally
That's an
Dark
interesting
Father.
little tidbit.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Germans
Also-
are like that wasn't a big surprise.
Also,
Set us into
Kobaka
big surprise.
is
Chewbacca.
Russian. Kobaka
Yeah.
is
Kobaka.
Russian for dog.
But
Oh.
it's Chewbacca, not Kobaka.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
No,
It's
I'm
close enough. So here's the thing. The spoiler alert of this whole thing is I went to Best Buy, bought the DVD, the Blu-ray pack. We watched New Hope and Empire. She loved it.
When?
Of course.
We were going to watch Return of the Jedi last night after we got back from the party, but then I got down the rabbit hole of doing all the prepping for this.
Prepping for
So we are
Drunksmas.
going to watch Return of the Jedi, and but also she hadn't been super into sci-fi, but she got into a sci-fi book club, so she's like read Dune and fucking
Oh, yeah.
loved it. She was like,
Yes.
and I was like, babe, Star Wars, great sci-fi, and she was like, all right, well maybe I'm in a good mindset to watch it, and she loved it. It was great.
The salt. Isn't that Dune? The salt?
The spice.
Like,
That's
jeez.
The salt.
The salt.
Where's all the salt? Quick, put salt in the slug cage so we can move through hyperspace.
Sodium is the mind killer.
Hey,
I
to
will
be
let
fair,
you
salt,
like
pass through
salt.
me.
salt is totally spice.
Salt makes your eyes go jaundice. Oh, I love it.
Spice.
The salt.
You get the salt. And I was like, the salt.
I
Oh my God.
Glass 15 of whiskey.
Well,
we
guess
need to
what?
get to a story?
No, we need to get to a next episode.
No, are you kidding me? We're already at 30
We are
minutes.
already at 30 minutes.
You're fucking kidding me.
You know why? It was because it was such a high concentration
Oh,
of
man.
good science
We learned a lot from
that
this
we didn't
guy.
even know what the fuck was happening.
We did.
Guys,
Salt,
first off,
spices.
I just want to
Hold
say,
on, what?
happy Drunksmas Eve.
Is
Oh.
it?
It's Merry Drunksmas
Oh,
Eve.
it is.
Tomorrow is Drunksmas.
But it's happy.
What?
Happy New Year's Eve.
But it's the end of Drunksmas. Has to be the Drunksmas.
I'm sad about
Happy
this.
drunk
Oh,
I feel
It's
like
so
I'm
much
kind of.
fun.
I mean, I understand that I'm drunk, but I feel like I'm not nearly as drunk.
Yeah, because you've been slacking off, Allison.
You know what we could do? We should
I've literally refilled my glass every episode. I've made sure.
Oof.
Okay.
of whiskey.
Okay.
No, I started with champagne,
Yeah,
and then I did wine, and then Todd came and made me the
Kentucky
Moose.
Moose, the
Donkey
Kentucky
thing.
Moose.
It's just pretty darn good.
Todd came and gave me the
Champagne's
donkey.
good.
And then I had more wine, and then whiskey got delivered, and I had that.
And then dumplings. You know what? That's a great way to end this episode.
Kyle,
Kyle.
Hey.
tell the peoples what you're doing.
Yes.
Hey, I'm the Science Center at Nerdist. You can check out my show called Because Science every Thursday morning on the Nerdist YouTube channel. You can follow me on Twitter at SciFile, SCI_PHILE, and
Nice.
I'll be around.
We
Be
love
nerdy.
I
We
feel
love
like
it.
we say because science on this show.
That's why I
We
called
do.
it. That's why I called it. Because I always found myself saying, like, oh,
Yeah, because science.
Science, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming.
No problem. My pleasure.
Hey, all you people who are listening, if you somehow made it through this episode,
And
Like
Allison
me.
can make it
because
through
I'm not
the.
quite sure I did. But subscribe to us on iTunes. Rate us. Half Hour Happy Hour with Allison and Alex. We're on Twitter, Half Hour Happy HR. Email us. Tell us. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we got anything wrong on this episode because Kyle's fucking here with us.
Not this-
Fuck
not
you.
this-
Take it up
episode.
with me.
Yeah,
We should have asked about the algae spray, but
we'll
later.
get to that. I mean, just email us
Yeah,
in
of
general.
course algae and seaweed are different things. One is a plant.
Yeah, and one's a
Wow.
bacteria, right?
Well, it's like a single-celled organism versus a thing. You've seen them in the. They touch your feet
He's really
when you're
mad right
swimming.
now.
Kyle.
Where's it? What drunk? What naked dating? I'm gonna. Where is she? I want to talk to her about this.
About algae plankton debate.
Jeez.
Okay. Email us, halfhourhappyhourfans@gmail.com. Continue the seaweed algae debate.
No.
And
Yeah,
that is
sure.
it for this episode of the Half Hour Happy Hour, aka Drunksmas Day 11.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Wow. I'm Alison
Day
Haislip.
11. I'm Alex Albrecht. With us as always, the man, the myth, the legend, Tom Super Volcano.
Ow! Woo!
Merry Drunksmas, everybody!
Merry Drunksmas!
Now leaving Nerdist.com.